Standard issue E-Tune.
You're gonna need a data log to get your next map.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MyLamePerspective. It's been one heck of a journey. So, I mean, if you guys look at this here, we have done a lot of work. If you're wondering why this video has taken so long, this is probably almost a year's worth of work. Miscellaneous little parts, upgrades, swaps. I've spent dozens, if not hundreds of hours on forums. The first part was figuring out my long cranking issue. The second issue I ran into is we hit a wall as far as the tune went, where I was chasing more power. And then the third was a spark blowout issue or a fueling issue that I've been chasing. Those are the three steps. So let's go over part number one. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about and the issues I ran into.
Alrighty, so the very first part of this journey is that I had to buy a Cobb access port. Now I wanted a V3, which is the latest version, and then I just did a quick search and a sub 003 will work on my Forester. Found one on Facebook Marketplace for a good deal, so I snatched that up. Now, obviously, you're going to have to pick a tuner. There's lots of options online, but I heard the best about Shinji or Shinji Tuning. The guys at the dealership highly recommended him, so that's who I elected to go with. Now, to tune, you data log on the Cobb access port, which is just a recording of what your car is doing, and then you email it to Shinji. He makes revisions, he sends you a new tune, and you keep doing that back and forth until you eventually get the car dialed in. And so that's exactly what I did. Pretty easy process. So now that we've uploaded his tune onto the access port, we've just connected it, and you have two options. You can do real time or you can do like a reflash. He always recommends doing a reflash. So you can kind of see in real time it's loading up pretty quickly. And then once I have this installed, I'll just have to data log kind of what I have going.
But wait, there's more.
All right, so the car's been sitting for about an hour. Let's see if she starts. So that's the problem, is we're cranking for, what was that, 5 or 6 seconds. So we're gonna see if this guy here is able to fix my problem. And the first thing people usually suspect when it's cranking like that is perhaps it's a bad fuel pump, but I just replaced it like 1,000 miles ago, and my symptoms seem to line up with this. If the car sits, you have to crank, 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 but if I turn it off, and then I turn it back on, it'll start right up. But if I let it sit 15 minutes or so, it's just gonna need to crank, crank, crank. And sometimes if I let it sit overnight, sometimes it fires right away, other times I gotta crank, crank, crank. So we're hoping that's the fix.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of trying to fix my ignition problem. So last episode I replaced this guy here. We also replaced the fuel filter. That did not fix my problem, so now I'm suspecting that my issue's coming from cylinder 4 per my Cobb access port. And so it might be the injector, it might be the coils. So we're gonna start by swapping the coils. All right, so I just finished swapping the coils. Now I'm going to start the car, let it run for maybe 5 minutes, get up to temperature, and then I'll let it sit for 15 minutes. If I don't get any misfires after that, or if the misfires move to cylinder 2, then I'll know that it's my ignition coil. If not, I'm suspecting it's my fuel injector. So let's see what happens.
20 minutes later.
All right, let's see what it does. This is on the swapped ignition coils. So there you go, that's that long cranking problem, and that's 20 misfires on cylinder 4, so I'm guessing it's still that fuel injector.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Okay, gotta fix this cranking issue. Let's get this off Amazon and just install it into cylinder 4. Alright, so this is with the new fuel injector. Let's see, it's been sitting for about 15 minutes. Oh, now cylinder 3.
Oh, come on!
Alright, so after pulling spark plugs, kind of horrified to realize the gap was 0.37 on 3 of them, with only one of them being relatively close, but still not ideal. The handbook said 0.3 to 0.28 to 0.3. All right, 4 new spark plugs and 1 new fuel injector.
It's the fuel injector, Shane. It always has been. Your old injectors?
They're just fumes.
I was able to fix the fueling problem. It was, in fact, the injectors. I just forgot to film it. But it was the 4 injectors. I replaced those. Cranking issue gone. At that point, I told Shinji, hey, let's get this thing tuned. He did. I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, so here's second. Wide open throttle.
And then here's a quick video of what it looks like with that tune.
Okay, now with that tuned, I can finally say I need more power.
I want more.
I just wasn't happy with the amount of power that I was getting out of it. I felt like I was leaving some on the table, so he said, hey, get that electronic boost control solenoid. So first step on the boost controller, it's actually this blue guy right here. So we're gonna disconnect him. So I've got that one hose down there that feeds into the turbo. I've got the wastegate here, so each one gets its own hose. Those come up into here, and then you just get small zip ties. Zip tie these on so they don't come off. But there you have it, maybe 20-30 minutes to install that.
Nice.
Now one of these that I've been excited about for a while is this just alternator cover, but it's an OEM one, and then we've got the STI badge that we're gonna put on here. So first we gotta take this harness, and I gotta remind myself. Now we've got an actual part from Japan. 125 AA020. Catch cans installed, new electronic boost controller, old PCV, garbage. So there you have it. One nice, clean engine bay. I love it! Come on! I'm super pumped. The engine bay's cleaned up. I've got that electronic boost control solenoid. I added the catch can. Things are looking really good. It visually looks good. Do you guys remember how I said we were going to hit a wall? Because we have now hit that wall. The wall we hit is this spark blowout issue. And so we got to, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th revision, and he said he was getting kind of some weird readings. So Shinji's like, hey, is this original, your mass airflow sensor?
Nope.
So what about your air fuel sensor?
Nope.
You know, I replaced those sensors, and yeah, things actually start cleaning up. They look better. So then we get to revisions 4, 5, 6, and then we get to 7. At that point, we hit a wall, and it's like we're just getting mad spark blowout. So it's kind of a shaky video, but it's the only one I got. Let me show you what that spark blowout looks like really quick. So yeah, as you guys can see, it's not very good. We have kind of 2 options. He's like, I can pull a bunch of fuel out of it, but I don't want your car to run lean. He's like, let's not do a Band-Aid solution if something's bad. Let's fix the part and then have a really good tune.
So, what's the plan? Right.
Let's look at all of the spark blowout issues and maybe see if one of those is the problem. And so I kind of come up with a list, and I'm like, all right, Shinji, I'm going to work through this list. All right, so this is on like revision 7. I've got the boost control solenoid. I've already replaced the OEM MAF, and I have done the air fuel sensor, and we're still getting the spark blowout. So most forums say, hey, it's your OEM coils.
Nope.
Sometimes your alternator's getting weak.
Nope.
Okay, maybe you have a bad ground.
Nope.
Your battery clamp, was that rusty? And it was. So I replaced it. Do you guys think that fixed my problem?
No.
Then I read one forum where a guy was having super similar issues. He was getting tons of spark blowout, and he bought these aftermarket coils from Cosmo. And I was super pumped. I was convinced that was going to fix my issue, but did it?
Nope.
Then I did a smoke test. So I got everything ready to go. So we're just going to pressurize the system here. First step is we're going to inflate this, and then we can begin to fill this up. All right, guys, so we're spraying. We'll just input it here. Of course, now I got smoke everywhere. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be glaringly obvious. Shoot, guys, I don't see anything jumping out. That's crazy, guys. Nothing. I mean, it's working too, because if I...
Nope.
Okay, well, you got to gap your plugs. Let's try that.
Nope.
So yes, after all of that. And you know, that's just, I'm busy. I can't just work on this every weekend. So I would work on this on the weekends when I could. It just took me forever to work my way through this list. And I was pretty frustrated. I was about ready to sell this car. I'm like, it will not work for me. It doesn't want the boost. I'm done with this thing. I'm selling this car. I'm sick of it. So I worked my way through the list. Everything that really ought to cause spark blowout, I've addressed. So then Shinji and I started tuning the car as it was. We started pulling fuel out, and I think we did 4 more revisions, and he kept pulling fuel each time when I was in boost. When I was just cruising around, I don't think he had to pull very much. So with that done, guys, it's done. It's freaking done. Now it freaking works. So was it worth it? Yeah, it was, but it just took forever. You know, I was probably way too cautious. In hindsight, I probably could have pulled fuel months ago, but I just wanted to be sure. You know, after replacing everything that causes spark blowout, I'm pretty confident that this thing is finally dialed in. So I just took it for a drive maybe 20 minutes ago. Let me show you how it looks, and I'll see if I can line up the Cobb access port. I'll see if I can line them both up, and you can see how much faster and how many more pounds of boost. It is 20 degrees outside versus that first video is when it was 70 degrees. So I don't need as many pounds of boost in the winter because it's colder and the air is denser. So really in the summertime, I'll probably be pulling 20, 21 pounds of boost. It'll just net me the same amount of power. But for now, it works, you guys. It freaking works. Dude, and I'm so psyched that this thing works. It's been a long time to get it to this point. But look at it there. Look at that guy. That's badass. Okay, that's cool. Leave your comments down below. Maybe there's something I missed. Maybe one of you guys was like, oh, it's, you know, this part and you should have replaced it first. Maybe, but I got it fixed. So that's all I really care about right now. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I love hearing from you down in the comments below. Let me know if there's something I missed or if you would have done something different. And we'll see you next time. Take care. If you guys can see the steam coming off of this, I think it's burning off coolant. I had to replace my hose and I sprayed some coolant. So if you're wondering why my engine is smoking, well, that's why. Too tall. Can you even see me? Probably not.